Hello everyone and welcome to Tasmania. Today we're doing a deep dive into possibly one of the most complicated and heartbreaking conflicts in the world. This is Israel and Hamas war. This video will go through everything. The history of how it started, who Hamas is, what happened on October 7th, Israel's military response, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, the political situation, and what's happening right now in 2025. This is a fact-based breakdown. There's no opinion, no propaganda, just information I've got from reliable sources online. I've gone through as much as I possibly can, so hopefully, I've tried my best to make sure it's all correct and there. There might be some mishaps. I do apologise if there is. Please correct me in the comments below. But yeah, so let's get into it. To really understand what's happening right now, we need to go back to over a century. Back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, there were two national movements rising in the same region. Zionism, which called for a Jewish homeland, and Palestinian Arab nationalism, which wanted independence for Arabs living in Palestine. After World War I, Britain took control of the area under what was called the British Mandate for Palestine. Tensions grew between Jewish and Arab communities. In 1947, the United Nations proposed dividing the land into two states, one Jewish, one Arab, in what's known as UN Resolution 181. Jewish leaders accepted it, while the Arab leaders rejected it. So in 1948, when Israel declared independence, neighbouring Arab countries invaded, starting the Arab-Israeli War. By the time the fighting ended, Israel controlled more territory than in the UN plan. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled or were expelled, what Palestinians call the Nakba or catastrophe. From 1948 to 1967, Gaza was controlled by Egypt and the West Bank by Jordan. Then, in 1967, Israel fought the Six-Day War and captured Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, the Sinai Peninsula, and the Golan Heights. That occupation became the foundation of the modern Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In the 1980s, tensions boiled over. Palestinians launched the first Intifada, or uprising, against Israeli rule. In 1993, the Oslo Accords were signed, creating the Palestinian Authority, which was supposed to lead to peace and a Palestinian state, but peace never fully came. By the 2000s, a second Intifada erupted, a more violent wave of clashes, suicide bombings, and Israeli military operations. This is also when Hamas, an Islamist movement founded in the late 1980s, became more powerful. Unlike the Palestinian Authority, which was led by the Fatah party, Hamas refused to recognize Israel and committed to armed resistance. In 2006, Hamas actually won the Palestinian legislative election. The following year, in 2007, Hamas and Fatah fought a short but bloody internal conflict known as the Battle of Gaza. Hamas took control of Gaza by force and has ruled it ever since. Since then, Israel and Egypt have imposed a blockade on Gaza, restricting movement of people and goods, fuel, and supplies. The blockade has been criticised by international groups for creating severe humanitarian conditions. There have been multiple wars and escalations since then. In 2008 to 2009, 2012, 2014 and 2021, with thousands killed and Gaza's infrastructure repeatedly destroyed. So let's fast forward to October 7th, 2023. That's when Hamas and allied militants launched a massive coordinated attack on southern Israel. They fired thousands of rockets, breached border defenses, and entered Israeli towns and communities. They attacked civilians, soldiers, and even people at a music festival, killing around 1,200 people and taking about 251 hostages, according to Israeli figures. It was one of the deadliest days in Israel's history. In response, Israel declared war. They launched airstrikes across Gaza and began a full siege, cutting off electricity, fuel, food, and water. The Israeli government said its goal was to destroy Hamas, rescue hostages, and prevent another October 7th.
שהאויב לא הכיר. האויב ישלם מחיר שהוא לא ידע כמותו.
Israel also ordered about 1 million Palestinians in northern Gaza to evacuate to the south, warning of major military operations. On October 27th, 2023, Israel began its ground invasion of Gaza. There were major battles in Gaza City, Khan Yunis, and Rafah. Israeli troops also surrounded and entered Al-Shifa hospital, accusing Hamas of operating tunnels beneath it, claim that sparked global controversy. The fighting spread across Gaza, moving from north to south as the months went on. By October 2024, Israel said it had killed Yahya Sinwar, Hamas's top leader in Gaza, in an airstrike. The first major ceasefire came in November 2023, lasting from the 24th to the 30th. During that pause, Hamas released some hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. In January 2025, another ceasefire and hostage prisoner deal was reached, going into effect around January 19th. But fighting didn't end completely. There were still occasional clashes and airstrikes throughout early 2025. Then, in October 2025, a new ceasefire was reached. This deal included the release of around 20 remaining Israeli hostages and about 1,950 Palestinian prisoners. After that agreement, thousands of displaced Palestinians began returning to northern Gaza, but most found their homes completely destroyed. The human cost of this war has been catastrophic. As of October 2025, over 67,000 Palestinians have reportedly been killed in Israel's offensive, according to Gaza health authorities. Israel disputes those figures, saying many killed were militants, not civilians. But what's certain is that Gaza, one of the most densely populated areas on Earth, has been devastated. Homes, schools, hospitals, and roads have been reduced to rubble. Satellite data shows over 90% of Gaza's buildings have been damaged or destroyed. The humanitarian situation has been dire. Limited water, fuel, electricity, and food. The hospitals are overwhelmed or completely destroyed. Many families have been displaced multiple times, moving from the north to the south and back again. Both sides have faced international criticism. Human rights groups and some UN reports have accused Israel of disproportionate attacks, collective punishment, and even genocide. Allegations Israel strongly denies. Israel says it targets Hamas militants and infrastructure, not civilians, and that Hamas uses civilian areas as shields. On the other side, Hamas has been condemned for targeting civilians, taking hostages, and for firing rockets indiscriminately into Israel. All considered war crimes under international laws. Legal cases and investigations are ongoing in the International Criminal Court and International Court of Justice. This war isn't just between Israel and Hamas. It's part of a bigger regional picture. Egypt and Qatar have acted as key mediators in ceasefires and hostage deals. Iran is a long-time backer of Hamas, though US intelligence says Iran didn't directly plan the October 7th attack. Hezbollah in Lebanon has also launched attacks on Israel's northern border, raising fears of a wider war. Some Arab states, like the UAE and Bahrain, normalized relations with Israel under the Abraham Accords, but the war has put those relationships under strain. Meanwhile, the US and Western allies have supported Israel militarily and diplomatically, while also pushing for more humanitarian aid and restraint. Inside Israel, there's deep political division. Some support continuing the war until Hamas is destroyed. Others demand a focus on returning the hostages and stopping civilian casualties. Right now, as of October 2025, a fragile ceasefire is in place. The deal involves hostage exchanges, prisoner releases, and some withdrawal of Israeli forces from parts of Gaza. International aid organizations are trying to rebuild water, power, and medical systems, but the challenges ahead are huge. Will Israel reoccupy the area? And how can reconstruction happen safely? And can another war be prevented? There's still fear of renewed fighting, especially if the ceasefire breaks or regional tensions rise. Moving forward, there are many unanswered questions. Can Hamas be disarmed or replaced without another long occupation? Will Gaza ever be rebuilt? And who will pay for reconstruction? And is a two-state solution, Israel and Palestine side by side, still even possible? The humanitarian needs are massive. The political and emotional wounds are even larger. International pressure is growing for both sides to commit to a lasting peace agreement, but trust is almost gone, and the region remains on edge. The war is not just a political crisis, it's a human tragedy. Tens of thousands dead, families torn apart, cities destroyed. Understanding this conflict means going beyond headlines, looking at history, the politics, and most importantly, the people caught in the middle. If you made it this far, thank you for staying open-minded and willing to learn. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment below of your thoughts and what you think can be done for real peace. Thank you for watching. Please take care.